Let's go to MGD with $2. Says Keanu fired from Simpcast. Is the MGD? Do you have a clip? That's interesting.
Why would that happen?
I don't know if it's people. They like to stir up shit. I like MGD though. I don't think MGD would lie to me. I don't want to go full on. Like I don't want to go full in with this story.
Mm-hmm. Until you have some proof. Until
I have some confirmation. But I know that Keanu had a really good take on the Melonie Mac thing. I thought she called out Melonie Mac perfectly. And Chrissy likes to kind of glob on to the Melonie Macs of the world. So
she didn't really care for
to try to pump up the views. Yeah. I've had my experiences with Frank and with Chrissy. And as I look back on it, and as I look back on how she is, and how Frank is, when you shake their hand, check your hand when you pull it back to make sure you got all 5 fingers. You know? They've like DM'd me and texted me behind the scenes, like back in the day. Like, you should keep going after Chad Zumach. You should keep going after Zumach. I think that's great. Oh, and if you ever want to report him for using your stuff, here's how you strike someone. And like they wanted me to strike. I've told the story how they wanted me to strike Melton at one point, and I'm like, no, I don't.
Why? He punches himself in the face. You don't have to help.
Right. He's a guy who sits there and rages at people, and then, like I said, they go poke, and he goes, ah, ha, ha, ha. And his fans are very similar. So with Chrissy and Frank, I just feel like all of their interactions are, what can this person do for me?
Okay.
Like, what kind of clout can I get from this person? And I really hope that Keanu's not out on Simpcast. I hope that's not true. I don't know if it's true because her take on Melonie Mac was good. Mm-hmm. And if it was some kind of thing, like Keanu is the godmother of Chrissy's baby. Like, I don't.
It'd be weird to just flat out like kick her out.
Yeah,
maybe not have her on once in as much. But
I'll say this: like, I think that when it comes to the godmother of your child versus some chick you just know from the internet, like you back the godmother of your child. You know that again. These people think that I'm just anti-internet people to people like who don't like me or whatever. No. This is universal. It's across the board. If Chrissy's that like into the internet, she's got to take a good hard look at herself and take a big fucking step back. You got a baby now. Like
yeah,
you
I was gonna say you have a daughter. It was a girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a daughter. You got kind of shit to do. I don't know, like that you want to obsess about the internet this much.
Yeah.
Put in your time, do your show. Maybe pay attention to some fans, and then turn around and be like, oh, look, the kid, I got a thing to do.
And let's be very honest. Her and Frank gave Keanu dog shit advice. Keanu was up in the hundreds of people watching her stream. She was at like 120, 130 or something. And then Chrissy and Frank told her, don't let these clippers clip you. Don't let them clip your shit. Here's how you strike them. And, I mean, they've streamed about this. They talked about it while it was happening. They encouraged Keanu to strike clippers, and she went after Will Herron, and now I get that Will Herron was being a little creepy, and he was trying to grift off her a little bit, but, like, the other Clippers hadn't done anything wrong. And, like, the Clippers can be good for your show. I don't think, we were doing, about 700 people a year ago, and now we're doing 900 in the morning, and we've held on to a lot of people over the last year, and I think a lot of it is because of Clippers. And when Keanu did that Clipper War thing, her numbers took a hit. And that was all coached by Frank and Chrissy, in my opinion. That was all coached by them. So if she really is out at Simcast, I think that's bullshit. But again, I'll wait. I'll wait
for confirmation. I'm just not gonna dive in it.
No, guys, can we stop using the terms Philly? And I went to the chat to see what they thought about this, and there's just, I'll be honest, there's a horse joke or two, and I don't think it's very nice. Like, I got to tell you, the one thing Chrissy did that made me laugh in the last year was she goes, I think Aaron may have corrupted everyone in that house. I think he may have been the one who brought in the drugs and all of that stuff. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this is the same Chrissy Mayer that called me on the phone. She goes, Oh, yeah. When I went to Anime Matsuri, Nick Rekieta just offered me Coke, just out of nowhere. He asked me if I wanted to do Coke. And then she goes on her stream after that, and she goes, oh, yeah, I think Aaron might have corrupted everybody.
Right, because he's the one who has a history of, I mean, it's one thing to be delusional or to misread something or to have your own personal opinion. But you've literally been offered facts to the contrary, man. What are you smoking that allows you to go, no, it's that guy?
I'll tell you why. Chrissy saw the person that she thought she could clout chase off of more and then trash the other person. That's a very Pellegrino move. It's a big-time Pellegrino move. Honky with $1 says, Chrissy's main crime is deluding Nick into thinking he could be a stand-up comedian. Talk about putting the re-cart before the horse. Yeah. Well, look, she wants people with more subscribers to help her get more subscribers. And at some point, you got to do a show. Like, at some point, you've got to power you. You can get anybody with lots of viewers and lots of subscribers to say, hey, check her out. But if they go and check you out and you don't do anything,
yeah.
I mean, what's the grift today? Is she a gamer or is she a J6er or is she a Trumper or is she a comic book girl or, is she an anti-feminist or is she an LGBTQ comedy host? I don't know. But you got to check in with maybe that's the gimmick. You got to check in with Chrissy every day to see what to see what
she's a busy woman pulling a lot of wagons, so to speak.
She's the Bray Wyatt or the Mick Foley of podcasting. She's got different faces. You got
real workhorse, that one.
Yeah. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Patricia with $2 says the original Clipper War started with you-know-who and Spicer and Megan Fox. The Megan Fox! Oh, the reporter. Over Destiny. Destiny was right and Fox and Nick were wrong. Nick was striking Destiny for clipping his bullshit. Well, he did admit they released the transcript of his court hearing. I think he got everyone else off on the charges because he said nobody has access to the safe but me, and that's where they found most of the drugs.
Right.
Was in the safe, so he took the hit, which he should, because they are his. I want to know what's going on. Like, remember when that MGD wrote in at the beginning of the show? That was like Kiki booted from Simpcast?
Yeah. You want to know what's going on over there?
Oh, wait a minute. MGD with a... hold on a minute. We got a clip from MGD.
Ooh.
I keep all these, it's free speech everywhere, but the moment I say something, God, I've been fired. I cannot be fired from another podcast this week. I've been fired from Simcast. I have my own show.
I don't.
This seems like an acting bit. Her emotion seems fake.
I think she's kidding, guys.
I think she's doing a bit, guys. This is like that thing where I'm like, I'll say something. I'm like, yeah, now go tell Aaron and everybody will freak out. And then they will. They'll go to Johnny saying this. And you're like, hey, did you say this? Be like, yeah. Do you care? No. Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and I'm sorry. MGD's been tagging me in these as well. Maybe I should follow.
Oh, my apologies.
I know MGD's not the biggest steel toe fan in the world, but they're not like an unreasonable hater person. They just
You're not an unreasonable man.
Yeah, I just think that I'm not their cup of tea, which is understandable. All right, well, we'll keep an eye on it. You know what the best way to do this is? Here's the thing that you folks from the internet need to learn. You know what you can do when people say so and so got this done? You know, sometimes you can just ask those people.
Right.
Did you really get fired from Simpcast? We were guessing. Are we officially guessing she was kidding?
We're guessing she's kidding.
You were kidding. There we go. See, now we can go straight to the source. See, now MGD will have, maybe by the end of the show, we'll have the answer for you. So... my thing is this, they dragged Kiki through the mud on that whole Clippers thing, and they told her what to do during that whole Clippers thing, and it really hurt Keanu's numbers big time.
Right.
It really hurt her numbers.
She's doing my numbers. It's sad. Look, it's fine for me. My life is pathetic and horrible. So the fact that anybody watches, but if somebody's like, "Hey, I'm at crutches levels," it's like, ooh. Oh,
But she was in
look
the
at toe triggers online, right? I get you. I feel you. Here's a few sites I can recommend.
She was in the hundreds before Chrissy and Frank told her, "Yeah, go after these Clippers and strike them and this and that." It's like while the stuff that would get the most views for me is clipped by other people, I feel liberated that they do that because then my clips don't have to be drama farming, which grosses me out. It's I get to put on stuff that might do lesser views, but it'll pop us in
it's
some
more fun and it's more content.
But not only that, but like eventually over time, it'll get us in certain algorithms. You know, you'll just start to circulate in kind of that, you know, kind of the more social Hollywood pop culture political stuff we do, and you can jump into there. So I actually think the Clippers do everyone a really big favor. They get to make a bunch of money. Well, not a bunch. They're not getting wealthy off of it.
They get to make money for their work.
They get to make a few hundred, maybe 1,000 a month, you know, clipping these channels. And
God's work.
It frees me up to clip the stuff I want to clip that I think is really good, like quality show content rather than like appealing to the lowest common denominator of retard, which I like. By the way, I do not have a what do you call it? Oh, look at that. MGD's happy that I called her not an unreasonable hater person. And MGD appreciates that. I say this, I have no confirmation on whether or not Keanu has been fired from Simpcast or she was kidding.